Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Thursday, March the 21st. Oh, we've got a weather smorgasbord. You name it, it's in the forecast. Cold, snow, sleet, rain, storms, maybe some severe weather, so a lot to talk about. Let's get in there and take a look. We'll start with some of the Skycam shots around the network. These were captured early this morning at the insane hour of 5 a.m. That's the Coleman Skycam down below US 278. They are well below freezing. They're in the 20s. Here's a look at downtown Fayette. They are below freezing. And way down south, that's our Skycam at Gulf Shores, overlooking the Hangout and Beach Boulevard. The sky's clear, and they're going to be pretty cold next week. If you're beach-bound, next week looks dry but very cool. Won't exactly feel like spring, but at least most all of next week will be sunny down there. Trough over the east, that's delivering colder air. Impulse coming in from the northwest. That could set the stage for a few snowflakes over parts of North Alabama tonight, maybe ice pellets. Here's a look at the numbers this morning. Not quite as cold as forecast for places like Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, but it's well below freezing to the north. Little breeze still blowing, but as I do that, again, those are 5 o'clock temperatures. We'll still have some time to drop. Most spots are going to wind up with a light freeze. And, wow, it's below zero this morning up on the Canadian border. They just can't buy a warm day. And here we are in spring. And next week around here looks pretty chilly. In fact, I think we'll have multiple mornings next week with temperatures below freezing. Now, on the first off, let's start with the this deal here. This is a winter weather advisory. How about that? Birmingham's decided to put up 5 counties under a winter weather advisory for tonight. This is the northern fringe of the Birmingham County warning area. That's Marion, Winston, Blount, Etowah, and Cherokee. And in Cullman, people always ask, why is Cullman left out? Well, it's a jurisdiction issue. And it's a strange deal. Cullman is in the Birmingham television market. You belong to us, but you're in the Huntsville Weather Service county warning area, and they've opted not to issue an advisory. So it's just the way it is. We can't do anything about it. But up in there could be a bit of snow and sleet tonight, maybe a little bit of accumulation on the grass, and that's the reason for that. And we'll talk about that in more detail. And the other issue, it's storms as we try and get in the warm sector of this thing. Now, this is the risk for today and tonight. I think that's the smallest slight risk I've ever seen. A little stretch there just north and west of Dallas-Fort Worth. And then tomorrow, no formal risk. We have a 5%, the low-end 5% probabilities from Texas into parts of west and southwest Alabama. And oh boy, look at this now. This is day 3 on Saturday. The standard slight risk over about the southern half of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. So that's our severe weather issue we'll have to look at on Saturday. And obviously, we'll have some good rain from all of this. This is the rain for the next 5 days, showing rain amounts of 1 to 2 inches here. And this is the snow potential graphic. This is the chance of accumulating snow greater than 1 inch. And the probabilities are mainly up over the Tennessee Valley of extreme North Alabama. But let's take a look. This is the GFS, the OZ run valid at 1 o'clock local time this afternoon. You can see the troughing over the northeast, energy coming in from the west. But down below that, the day today will still be dry, but cool. You know, we ought to be in the upper 60s this time of the year, and that obviously is not happening today. The high will be only in the low to mid 50s. It will be a rather brisk day. The NAM is showing a high of only 51 today. All right, this is tonight, just after midnight, 06Z, that's 1 a.m. You can see precipitation beginning to spread in here over North Alabama. And we think with the wet bulb cooling effect, there's no doubt we're going to see some sleet and snow over parts of far North Alabama. Of course, the big question is how far south. Well, let's look at the RPM. The latest RPM is not very bullish. We have seen other runs that tries to put down 2 inches up there. This is showing just a dusting for the Tennessee Valley, and again, mainly north of US 278. And that's Hamilton to Cullman to Gadsden. Below that, there could be some ice pellets, I think, some sleet, and maybe a snowflake or two, but shouldn't be any issues for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, or Anniston. And the GFS is kind of similar. It's kind of a dusting coming in here, so it's not a super big deal, but we all know these late season systems can bring a surprise. So we'll have to watch the radar trends tonight. But again, clearly as this stuff starts tonight, it could be kind of a wintry mix. Sleet, snow, maybe a few raindrops, and there could be enough snow for a dusting to maybe a half inch on the grass along and north of US 278. And for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, maybe an ice pellet or two or a snowflake, but no issues. So that's the deal. And then tomorrow, it's just going to be a cold and rainy day with periods of rain. We'll struggle to get out of the 40s. If it doesn't rain all day, we'll probably do low 50s. And then Saturday, you can see a pretty impressive trough coming out of the Rockies. Down below that, there's a surface low that's over Texas. And to the east of that surface low, we're going to have a warm front. And where that warm front happens to be will determine who gets the severe weather opportunities. And obviously, along and south of that front will be the best chance of severe weather where the instability will be. So let's look at some of the parameters. This is the instability of the lifted index, and where you see the green, that is unstable air. And this is valid 6 p.m. Saturday. And it's got clearly the better instabilities are over the southern half of the state, although there is some surface-based instability as far north as Interstate 20 on Saturday evening. So we'll have to watch that. And this is the bulk shear from the surface to 850 millibars. And those numbers are not overwhelming, but they're certainly supportive of some sustained updrafts and maybe some storm rotation. There could be an isolated tornado down there over the southern half of the state. Just be aware of that. And this is the EHI, the Energy Helicity Index, which is often a pretty good composite index. And the higher numbers are mainly south of US 84 over far south Alabama. So I think the SPC outlook is about right. The southern half of the state has the best chance of severe weather, south of a line from, say, maybe Livingston to Clanton to Roanoke. But we're still a couple of days, and that could change. We'll watch that. Everybody else, though, gets wet on Saturday. It'll be a soaking rain, not a good day to be outdoors. Now, this is Saturday night at midnight, or just after midnight, 1 a.m., and the GFS has the surface low near Tuscaloosa. And, of course, the greatest chance of any severe weather will be south and east of that surface low. And, again, that is consistent with that SPC outlook, the greatest chance of severe weather over the southern half of the state. And look at the snow developing over Missouri and Kansas. And then this is Sunday at midday. That surface low is north of Knoxville, Tennessee, and we start to turn cold. I get the idea that Sunday is going to be a day where it's going to be a day perhaps with falling temperatures. In fact, the latest guidance coming in with a high of only 61, that probably will come during the morning. We could fall into the 50s and maybe even the 40s, and this is suggesting maybe a few snow flurries on the backside of that thing down into Tennessee and maybe around the shoals. So Sunday could be a cloudy, windy, raw, and kind of cold day. And I think the models are finally locking in on this solution. And then Monday, it's going to be cold. Monday morning, I think we could see a freeze. In fact, I think we could see a freeze Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning, all 3 mornings of next week. Highs only in the low to mid-50s. It won't feel like spring. Same thing Tuesday of next week, just cold. And again, that'll be the case all the way through Thursday. This is Wednesday of next week. So sunny but cold. We'll go out there deeper. This is April the 1st. Ooh, that looks kind of stormy. Surface low near Shreveport. And that's what you expect in early April. The end of the forecast, this is April 5th. Look at the upper low near St. Louis, and that looks cold. We need some warm weather. Having a hard time finding it. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes on the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock today. And don't forget, if you can, to watch us on ABC 3340 News, the live stream, or the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.
Hey, this is Ross with my partner Bob. We have a show called Worldview Matters.
And Ross, as you know, we believe that everything in life is somehow related to how people view the world around them.
Our show is available on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Also available on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.